doing?
No, Mr. President. The question is, what are you gonna do?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 obvious copycat movies.
What did you say to me?
I never would have taken you for a traitor.
Me? What about you? You sold this country out long before I ever did.
For this list, we'll be looking at films that had eerily similar plots and concepts that were released to cinemas within a year of each other. Which of these twin films do you think are the most egregious copycats? Are there any we missed? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, The Illusionist and The Prestige. 2006 saw the release of two movies about stage magicians in late 19th century Europe, arriving in theaters just a few months apart. Christopher Nolan's The Prestige was about an obsessive rivalry between magicians in London, played by Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
Hey! Wake the bloody king! Wake the bloody king!
In contrast, Neil Burger's The Illusionist follows a magician, played by Edward Norton, who uses his skills to be with his forbidden love interest. Despite these plots being quite different, the overall subject and setting, as well as the marketing and time of release, invited inevitable comparisons.
Have we not each experienced the sensation that a beautiful moment seemed to pass too quickly and wished that we could make it linger?
The most memorable was The Prestige, but it was The Illusionist that first set the stage. Number 19, Mirror, Mirror, and Snow White and the Huntsman. The stories of the Brothers Grimm have been adapted many, many times, but it still seems like an incredible coincidence that two movies about Snow White came out within 2 months of each other in 2012.
Trust me, I am, after all, merely a reflection of you.
Both follow Snow White as she evades and overthrows her evil stepmother, with Lily Collins portraying the princess in Mirror, Mirror, and Kristen Stewart in Snow White and the Huntsman. The main difference is how the main character goes about it, with the latter taking a far bloodier route.
I've lived too many lives, ravaged entire kingdoms. I have been given powers that you could not even fathom.
Both films received middling reviews, but the less humorous, grittier story ended up doing better at the box office and receiving a prequel/sequel. Number 18, The Descent and the Cave. When it comes to film, money is not everything. That's what the makers of The Cave found out after they released 1 month after Neil Marshall's The Descent. The two films follow a group of cave divers who encounter some not too friendly creatures underground. The significant differences come with their budgets and cast choices. The Cave had a budget of $30 million, while UK's The Descent had only £3.5 million, with an all-female main cast. However, audiences received the UK's version better, and it made a tidy profit.
Where to?
Down. Sure? Yeah, down.
On the other hand, the American film recouped only a few million over its budget. While the similarities could have been coincidental, the success could not be replicated. Number 17, Paul Blart Mall Cop and Observe and Report. Seth Rogen admitted to these films being similar, but argued that they were different. It's hard not to notice the glaring similarities, though. Both 2009 films are about a mall security guard who takes his job a little too seriously, trying to impress the girl he likes. While the two movies did feature famous comedians, Paul Blart became the more famous of the two. The significant deviation between them comes from their humor. Paul Blart is more slapstick, while Observe and Report has a lot more violent and dark punchlines.
We don't want to hurt you, Ronnie. You want to get hurt?
You didn't bring enough pigs to hurt me.
If it makes you laugh, why not just enjoy both? Number 16, Mission to Mars and Red Planet. These film twins followed astronauts adventuring to Mars, where their missions went awry. That could have made them similar enough, but both also had production problems. Mission to Mars, which was released first, had a director quit before principal photography due to budget constraints. During the filming of Red Planet, Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore reportedly fought on set. The movies also happened to share generally unfavorable reviews, primarily focusing on lackluster writing.
I think you're just ignoring the facts.
The facts? Bet you're no fun at Christmas.
What contrasts the two? Mission to Mars made $11 million more than its budget at cinemas. Red Planet tanked at the box office, earning only $33.5 million against a budget of $80 million. Number 15, Dante's Peak and Volcano. They say bad things come in threes, but when it comes to disasters on screen, they seem to come in twos. Pierce Brosnan plays a volcanologist in Dante's Peak, trying to save an American town from a volcano.
Those trees over there, any idea when they died?
No. Maybe from the winter storms. Why? You think we got a problem?
No, I don't think so.
Volcano stars Tommy Lee Jones trying to do the same, but in Los Angeles. The films were released within just a few months of each other. While critics were less impressed with Dante's Peak, they weren't exactly besotted with Volcano either. Geologists called the former the more accurate movie.
Is everybody clear on that? All right, let's go, build a wall.
It also edged again in terms of box office success. Number 14, Red Eye and Flightplan. In both these high-altitude thrillers, a heroine on an overnight flight pits wits and fists against a criminal holding a loved one hostage.
Yes, it should, because right now he's on his way to your hotel, and that's why you need to keep listening.
No, I don't think I don't have to do that.
Yes, you do, if you want your dad to live.
From this initial premise, the stories diverge in pretty different directions. Flightplan focuses on a mother's search for her missing daughter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we've got a first to report. Seems our aircraft is big enough to lose a child in.
Whereas Red Eye follows a hotel manager's efforts to escape a terrorist and protect her father.
So what do you do?
Government overthrows, flashy, high-profile assassinations, the usual.
But both kick off with the death of a family member. Jodie Foster's character's husband in Flightplan, and Rachel McAdams' character's grandmother in Red Eye. And both also feature a villain who is not what he seems.
I think you and I need to talk.
Me too.
Not in my house.
Number 13, Rough Night and Girls Trip. Rough Night and Girls Trip start with similar setups. Some lifelong friends reunite to party it up, resulting in a journey of outrageous shenanigans and self-discovery.
This is it, your bachelorette weekend. I have been waiting for this moment since the first day of freshman year. Get in here.
You have?
Who's ready for a refill?
The main character of both is an ambitious public figure who falls out with her bestie. But Rough Night takes a sudden turn when one of the girls jumps on a stripper and accidentally kills him.
Okay, my turn!
Whoa.
Oh!
He turns out to be a wanted criminal, so it's all okay. Or something. It's basically very bad things, but with great hair and no consequences.
Help me, honey. You want to talk about us? You want to talk about us?
Like that movie, Rough Night received mixed reviews, while Girls Trip was a success both critically and financially. Number 12, Chasing Liberty and First Daughter.
Way to go! I can't believe you had that restaurant swarming with all of your secret servants. You ruined my date!
In these romantic comedies, the president's teenage daughter rebels against overprotective Secret Service agents, and falls for a man who's actually an undercover Secret Service agent. That's a pretty specific premise for two movies to share. Chasing Liberty has Mandy Moore's character run off skinny dipping and bungee jumping on a Euro trip.
I want to swim naked in the Danube!
Actually, it's the Platava.
While First Daughter follows Katie Holmes' goody two-shoes counterpart at college in California.
It's hard enough to blend in having a team of Secret Service men carrying my books.
But both share similar resolutions. When the girls discover the true identities of the leading men, get mad for a while, and, well, you can pretty much guess the rest.
If I kiss you, do you think they'll shoot me?
No. But I will if you don't.
Number 11, The Legend of Hercules and Hercules. Hercules has been around for eons, so you'd think we could space out our adaptations a little. But in 2014, Hollywood released 2 movies about the muscle-bound Greco-Roman hero. And while they strike different tones, with Hercules the more solemn of the two, both sword and sandal epics pare down the supernatural elements and portray a Hercules who has yet to discover his true power.
But even this monster was no match for the son of Zeus.
Both also pit Hercules against a warmongering ruler, and feature a scene in which he draws on superhuman strength to break free of chains. Maybe writing a unique script should have been one of Hercules' 12 labors. Number 10. The Truman Show and Ed TV. It can take the wind out of your sails when someone does your idea before you. It's even worse when their attempt is better than yours. And that's precisely what happened to Ed TV.
What kind of a show is this? It's a filthy show.
It is not a filthy show,
Have you even read the whole contract? Do you even know what's in it?
While Universal was aware of The Truman Show during pre-production, they didn't think people would be interested in Jim Carrey acting in a drama. The main difference between these two is that while Jim Carrey's character, Truman, doesn't know he's being filmed, Matthew McConaughey's character, Ed, agrees to it. While it does have some witty comedy behind it, it's nowhere near as impactful as The Truman Show.
Truman. You can speak. I can hear you. Who are you? I am the creator of a television show.
As a result, it came off as a weird parody and bombed at the box office. Number 9. Tombstone and Wyatt Earp. Originally, Kevin Costner was attached to Tombstone, but left to make his own Wyatt Earp movie with Star Wars scribe Lawrence Kasdan.
Howdy, stranger. What can I get you? I wouldn't mind one of those cigars.
I'm about ready to go home. I wish y'all stop yakking and just play cards.
Thank you. Kind of nice in here. That's my name.
Well, that don't mean shit to me or anybody else in this world. And it never will after this night.
His replacement, Kurt Russell, had no little hand in shaping Tombstone into a tight, action-packed western, while Costner and Kasdan's film became a grandiose 3-hour biopic focusing on the legendary lawman's life from childhood on. During production, their rivalry occasionally became bitter. Tombstone had monopolized period clothing, forcing Wyatt Earp to import costumes from Europe, while Costner used his influence to limit Tombstone's distribution. Nonetheless, Tombstone emerged from the dust triumphant, with critics and at the box office, thanks in part to Val Kilmer's scene-stealing performance as Doc Holliday.
You must be Doc Holliday.
That's the rumor. Call me Doc.
Number 8. No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits. Both these romantic comedies follow friends who decide to have casual sex, pledge not to fall in love, but, surprise, catch feelings by the end.
Please say something.
Wait. You should know. If you come any closer, I'm not letting you go.
While No Strings Attached starred Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman, Friends with Benefits is led by Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. Both films initially shared the title Friends with Benefits until Paramount changed theirs to No Strings Attached. There are slight variances in the plot, but they play out pretty much the same.
Get the hell out of here.
Don't laugh. This could be great. This could take all the weirdness out of it.
Well, we talked about this. I don't like you like that.
I don't like you like that either. That's why it's perfect.
On top of that, they both cashed in at around $149.5 million at the box office. Talk about seeing double. Number 7. Deep Impact and Armageddon. Do you remember the end of the world craze back in the 90s? Everyone was freaking out about the turn of the millennium, and studios thought to capitalize. 1998's Deep Impact, released in May, and Armageddon, released in June, were both vying for some of that space meteor apocalypse hype.
Half the world's population will be incinerated by the heat blast, and the rest will freeze to death from nuclear winter.
That's unbelievable. But it turns out Disney, Touchstone's parent company, might have played dirty when it comes to the concept. Deep Impact screenwriter Bruce Joel Rubin claimed that a Disney executive plagiarized his idea during a lunch meeting. While Armageddon did better at the box office, Deep Impact received slightly better reviews and was seen as more scientifically accurate. Number 6. K9 and Turner and Hooch. A detective partners up with a troublesome dog, and they bond after an initial clash of personalities.
Hey, pup. Kill.
Well, I think your boy might have worked better.
Okay, you're either gonna work with me, or they're gonna shoot you.
Released just 3 months apart, these buddy cop action comedies share the same premise and some similar sequences, including the dog downing booze, seducing a lady friend, and some one-sided shouting matches.
All right. That's the way you want it. That's the way you're gonna have it.
What is it? What?
The plots strike out in different directions, as Belushi's loose cannon detective pursues a drug bust with German Shepherd police dog Jerry Lee, and Tom Hanks' fastidious character tracks down the criminals who murdered Hooch's owner. But both climaxes feature classic taking the bullet moments, wherein canines earn their moniker of man's best friend. Number 5. A Quiet Place and the Silence. Both of these movies are set in a world where monsters hunt based on sound. Production for the films happened around the same time, but John Krasinski's 2018 film far outshone what others deemed its copycat. Released on Netflix, 2019's The Silence was actually based on a 2015 novel of the same name, but it was hard to overlook the similarities. It didn't help that one of The Silence's writers was Shane Van Dyke, who had penned several scripts for The Asylum, a studio known for its not-so-subtle ripoffs.
What the hell's that mean, don't make noise?
Stay here.
While the two movies have differences in plot, the shared premise was enough to make comparisons inevitable. Number 4. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and Spectre. Sure, the James Bond and Mission Impossible franchises might both be about spies, but the overarching plots for these films were uncannily similar.
These are no accidents. They're links in a chain, the work of a single organization.
In both, the director of a government intelligence service shuts down the protagonist's espionage department. The agent goes rogue to chase down a shadowy criminal organization through Austria, Morocco, and London.
And finally, here we are. What took you so long?
Producers actually had the release of Rogue Nation pushed back a few months so they wouldn't compete, and giving it that space was definitely a good idea. Both films would inevitably be compared, but the franchises are well enough established for fans to differentiate. Number 3. Antz and A Bug's Life. The similarities between these films was no coincidence. While they certainly have their differences, both DreamWorks' Antz and Disney's A Bug's Life are about ant colonies that fight back against oppressive overseers.
Let this be a lesson to all you ants. Ideas are very dangerous things. You are mindless, soil-shoving losers, put on this earth to serve us.
And there's a reason for that. DreamWorks co-founder Jeffrey Katzenberg had left Disney on bad terms, but kept in touch with former colleagues. One of those was director John Lasseter, who was surprised to see DreamWorks announce an eerily similar film to his during development.
The whole system makes me feel insignificant.
Excellent. You've made a real breakthrough.
I have?
Yes, Z. You are insignificant.
While they differed in their comedic tones and details, no one can argue against the resemblance. Number 2. Madagascar and the Wild. A lion and his animal buddies escape New York's Central Park Zoo and travel by ship to Africa, where they struggle to adapt to the wild.
This isn't so difficult. I'm the lion of the sea. Arr!
This is the setup for both DreamWorks' Madagascar and Disney's The Wild, made during the height of their rivalry. The catalyst in both computer-animated fish-out-of-water comedies is a zoo animal who longs to experience Mother Nature. Madagascar beat The Wild to cinemas, and was a hit with both moviegoers and most critics. It may be a coincidence, but The Wild focused on the relationship between father and cub and prominently featured an active volcano, all elements that would find their way into Madagascar 2.
At least I saw the wild before it disappeared.
I can still see it. It's right
Here. I found my roar.
You deserve this, son. Welcome to the Pride.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down. Described as Die Hard in the White House, these action thrillers came out within mere months of each other. Both are about terrorists taking over the White House and a lone hero who saves the day.
Sir, there's been an intrusion. Please stand up. Let's go. Move. Here. Mr. Lee, please join us. That's not protocol, sir. He's coming with us. Move.
24 minutes under. We got a maintenance.
In Olympus Has Fallen, Mike Banning's a disgraced Secret Service agent who redeems himself when he rescues the president from North Korean terrorists.
Sorry about the house, sir.
In White House Down, John Cale is a police officer thought too reckless for the Secret Service, who proves his worth when a paramilitary group captures the president.
Guess it would have been better if all the evidence would have been destroyed in the airstrike that you ordered.
You say tomato, we say tomato. Both received mediocre reviews, but the lower budget Olympus Has Fallen reaped higher returns, and even managed to churn out a sequel. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.